My name is Tom Hodson, Spanish Fork resident. Work for Utah County Sheriff's Office. I'm lieutenant over the Patrol Division. I've been with them for 29 years. And my role in Shop with a Cop is I work on a committee that puts this program together to help all of the children that need the program. There's a huge team that's involved, but I'm happy that I play one of the roles to help those in need. Shop with a Cop is a program that pairs less than privileged children in some occasions with an officer and go on a shopping spree at the Kmart here in Spanish Fork. So it's a real treat. We asked the children to be at Kmart at 6 o'clock in the morning. I arrived about 5:10 this year, and the parking lot had about 40 children in it waiting to participate. And so we asked the children to be there by 6. Once the children arrive, they're paired with their officer for the day. You know, some want to go with a female officer, others don't want to go with they want to go with a male officer. And so that process, you know, kind of takes care of itself. And there is a little hesitancy we often see with the children to be away from their siblings, for instance, or their parents. This is a stranger to them, even though it's a police officer. Once that child gets in the car and the officer points to the siren switch and the light switch and says, "Turn that on," and they get on the radio and they say, "Merry Christmas, dispatch," that bonding is almost immediately taking place. And so just by virtue of that fact, there is a bonding process, but it's rather quick. This is not a Spanish Fork event as far as law enforcement. It's from countywide. In fact, this year we had an officer from West Valley call me and ask if he could come down and participate, which we allowed him to do. So it's a great occasion, and we're represented by virtually all of the law enforcement agencies in the county. And along with that, we have children from all the cities in the county, whether it be Eagle Mountain, Saratoga Springs, the northern Utah County cities, or the southern Utah County cities. So it's a county-wide program that we're very fortunate to be able to do. At that point in time, we go out and do a Lights and Sirens motorcade through the Festival of Lights, which is a real treat for the children. Many children haven't seen that before, and so it's a special treat that we are very happy that Spanish Fork City allows us to take part in. That's become a trademark for Shop with a Cop, is the Festival of Lights, and we're so gracious and pleased that we're allowed to take them there. So hats off to Spanish Fork City for that contribution. And so Spanish Fork is a natural place to have this. It's just, with the Festival of Lights and everything else that we have to offer, it's just a wonderful opportunity we have. After the Festival of Lights, we proceeded to Diamond Fork Junior High School, where again, a local family from Spanish Fork, extended family, has taken upon the task of providing breakfast for about 300 people. They do a marvelous job of doing that. We did have a special visitor arrive at breakfast this year in the form of Santa Claus. He came in, brightened the children's day, got them amped up to shop. This year he had police officers play reindeer, and they pranced around the auditorium, which amused many of us. And those police officers are still being teased about prancing around like reindeer. The breakfast, it's all taken care of for us. The kids are given a very, very nutritional breakfast. All their needs are met. They're very happy to have that good meal and share that special bonding moment with their officer. I had one person tell me they counted 135 police cars this year. Our best count is 146 children that took place in Shop with a Cop. We had 143 officers, which is remarkable. When we first started this program, we had 40 children the first year. So it's evolved now to 100 and 150 children per year. Once we arrive back to Kmart, the children are given an opportunity to shop with their police officer. And all bets are off at that point. If you're in the toy aisle, you better watch out because you're about to get ran over. They have a visit with Santa Claus while they're in the store. They get their photo taken with Santa Claus and their officer, and each child will receive that photo for their memories. In addition to that, each child that participates in Shop with a Cop is then given a coat, a brand new coat. For many of them, unfortunately, it's the first brand new coat they've ever had. The Knights of Columbus helps us with that through their donations. And again, this year, each child received a pair of gloves or a mitten. And that donation was provided by the honorary colonels of Pleasant Grove. We couldn't possibly do this program without the donations that we receive from local companies and citizens and just people that, if you go to Kmart, they've got a Shop with a Cop tree, and people put money in envelopes for us. And all that's helpful. And we simply could not do this program without the donations we receive. And this year, each child was fortunate to receive $135 to spend. The money they receive is for them to spend on shopping for themselves. Many of these children don't have that opportunity. So it's a nice thing that they get to spend money on themselves. Some children come with a list, some don't. A special treat for many people, myself included, is the bagpipe band from Payson High School. That they take the occasion to come out and help us to Shop with a Cop. And some people don't correlate bagpipes with Christmas, but they play Christmas music, and that makes it work. And it's a treat to hear them come, so we salute them for taking time out of their schedules to come and volunteer for us. Quite often when the children go to check out, they are over the allotted amount of money they have to spend. It's not uncommon to see an officer dip into his or her own wallet to take care of the balance. On some occasions, we do have some extra cards at the front counter that we will go take care of some purchases if we can. But more often than not, it's the officers dipping into their own personal funds to help this child out. An interesting story that came about this year is we had a 9-year-old girl who had 8 siblings. And this little girl, with her $135, she went back to the wrapping area. We have volunteers to help wrap the gifts after they're purchased. A while back in the wrapping area, this little girl was asked by one of the wrappers, "Which is your present? Who's this one for?" That little girl at 9 years old didn't buy a single present for herself, not one gift. All of the gifts that she purchased were for her siblings and her mother and her father. At that point in time, there was a few wet eyes back there by the wrappers, and so that officer was given an additional gift card to go buy something for that particular child. If the community wants to get involved, whether it be through a donation or coming to Kmart and helping wrap gifts, they're welcome to do so. It's incredible to see what takes place on that special day. I would be remiss if I didn't thank those people that really make this program work. Without the donors that provide us the funds, this program would die off and not continue. So we appreciate their support immensely. To all those people that volunteer with Shop with a Cop, they go out of their way to make Christmas a little brighter for a child they don't even know. And to me, that's what the key is. To those who help us at the Diamond Fork Junior High School, the school district that gives us that building to use, to those that prepare the breakfast, to the people that wrap at Kmart, all those that volunteer their time and efforts to make this program succeed in some way, a shout out to them. But a special shout out to the law enforcement officers who participate year after year after year and take time out of their own schedules and volunteer their time to participate in Shop with a Cop. Hats off to them, each and every one of them. But I really want to thank the children. That's who this program is about, is the children. And we couldn't do what we do without the children and their smiles, and that makes it worthwhile. So hats off to the kids for making this a rewarding experience for the officers.